FredTopia Zoo. Beautiful FredTopia Zoo. Hello Fredlings, this is Claude from Chicago, and as you see by the title of this video, this is the last Planet Zoo video for FredTopia Zoo. And my goodness, it has been a wonderful adventure over nearly 83 hours of gameplay just on this single world. It's been fantastic, and today we are doing the final touch-ups on this time-lapse and this park because it's been so long since I played, and I want to continue playing Planet Zoo, Planet Coaster, and other creative games here on this channel and streaming them on Twitch at Claude from Chicago. But I want to start fresh, and this series was by far one of my favorites, but all good things must come to the end. So what we're doing is we're going around the park and we are adding in little details to make this zoo feel complete, like adding trees, giving that depth and that feature of, there's nothing else behind there. Obviously, there's open fields. But it's been wonderful. I do want to say, though, this series we have, I think, added every single habitat here. We have the Indian animals. We have the snow leopards, we have primates, reptiles, insects, and the African area, as well as the snow stuff. So there's actually quite a lot, but you did not buy any DLCs for this. So if you are curious, this is 2021 as we're recording this. No DLCs were used, even though I believe there's 3 or 4 packs out now. So this is what we could do in the base game, and if you are going to be playing Planet Zoo or Planet Coaster or any other creative game, I would recommend you just playing the base game for as long as you can before you start buying DLCs, because remember, this channel is for real people that have real amounts of time and want to put realistic details in. Unlike other content creators that dedicate their whole lives to this, I can only dedicate a small proportion of my time to these series. But I want to show you, Fredlings, that it is possible that anything can be done within real time and for real people. And that's what these videos are for. We do a wonderful job here in this park, and seeing everyone else's park, posting them on our Discord, and seeing screenshots of everything. It's just wonderful to see how much you guys have improved since the beginning, since I have, and we'll talk about that during the live walkthrough section here in a couple minutes. But one of the final things that I did want to build that was super creative that I wanted to do is something that I saw from Geekism's World years ago on his movie park, which only had like a couple episodes. But he had this waterfall at the beginning of his entrance of that movie park, and I wanted to do that here in our zoo, because it's something that I don't usually do is these waterfalls. I did have one in my other movie park, which was the Fred's Movie Studios, which is also on YouTube. You could watch that too, which is a great series, one of my fun series too. But this is probably the best waterfall that I've ever seen, ever done here on Planet Zoo that I actually didn't look up. I did this all by myself, and it turned out quite fantastic. It wasn't something that I wanted to do, but I knew this gap here needed to have something in it. It's something I've been waiting to do for a very long time, and it perfectly blends in with the hippopotamuses in the back. This here too, I didn't know what to fill it in, so I just copied these rocks, pasted them around, twisted them around, and it just looks like a brand new. It's like it's always been there. And finishing this entrance up for the reptiles. So we're gonna go to the live section in a few short seconds, Fredlings. So once again, thank you so much for watching this series. Fredlings, I hope you enjoyed that time lapse, and that is going to be the final time lapse for FredTopia Zoo. And this series has been marvelous and wonderful. So we're going to be doing a complete walkthrough of the zoo from here on out. And let's start from the beginning. Right here is the default entrance to the game, but you see the beautiful FredTopia Zoo chosen by you, the subscriber. And it's such a beautiful name for the zoo. But before we walk into the zoo, we have the financial area where Zach Daily Games and all the other finance experts make sure our zoo is managing everything properly, and we did that on one of the earlier time-lapse videos. I did not record it, but I just bent this in today so you get a nice sort of hidden tree line. Then pretty recently, or one of our last videos, we did this main entrance, and oh my goodness, it's so beautiful. And it's even more beautiful at nighttime, where all the lights come on, all the bulbs. Oh, it just looks so good in this park whenever we do the lighting. It's absolutely wonderful. And the sign, it's just so good. It's so good, as well as the nighttime stuff over here. The reptile house, the main entrance and walking areas, and then the food courts and everything else. But we're gonna start over here and do the interior stuff. So this is obviously one of the last exhibits we have done, the inside, the reptile house. And coming inside, I love how we actually did the lighting in here. We got the food in the food court area over here. The beautiful windows suggested by Cripsa200, one of our oldest subscribers here on this channel. And even inside here, there's little heat lamps and stuff like that. You can see all the snakes and beautiful stuff. This is just wonderful. This has been an absolute wonderful series. And even just doing the little bit of details with lights and stuff like this is so realistic. And I look at just the shadows in this game. This game is so awesome. We've nearly played 83 hours just on this world alone, and I cannot wait for any future Planet Zoo series. There's the staff-only area. But there's... Oh, let's turn the lights back on in here. About 12 noon. But the crocodiles, all in here, just doing their own thing. And you can see the entirety of the build and more in-depth looks within our past videos in the playlist down below. But every one of these episodes was live streamed on Twitch at Claude from Chicago. There was a couple exceptions, like this final episode here, where I actually did not stream it. I actually just recorded it and said that we got to get this video out, unfortunately, because I kind of want to start a new creative world and do some things. So this is the snow leopard area, the snow tiger. There's a lot of things down here, as well as the wolf. I should have put the wolf sign over here. But you come on in, and we can see the wolf area in here, which was given to the great Zach Daily Games, because, you know, his other channel has wolves in them. I'm not sure where the wolves are. They do like to sleep a lot, so maybe they're in the back sleeping. But these interior exhibits went from looking pretty meh to pretty good. I mean, I would say this is probably one of my better exhibits. This is probably my second favorite with inside the interior area. Just because of the details we put in this one. Even though this is the third one we built, I do think it is my second favorite. And my overall favorite is the Siberian Tiger, which was dedicated to Game & Botch's crew. Just look at just absolutely beautiful, just a beautiful tiger. And it's just so realistic because inside these glass windows would allow the trees to grow naturally. As well as there's little hidden areas underneath these little ramps and stuff like that. But I do think this is my favorite. And then over here, I believe this is the snow leopard. Yes, the snow leopard in here. The snow leopard was our first interior exhibit. It's nice. It could have been a lot better in my opinion. But that's improvements for the next time. We did a little bit of details outside over here, which this would be a really good screenshot for the final episode, but we're not going to use that for the final one. So let's continue moving on. We're going to go past the main entrance. We actually started, I believe, the series near Christmas time. I think that's the reason why we put this here. We didn't have this world in Christmas, but it was around there. But our first exhibit here, oh, perfect timing, the water buffalo. They just call it the African buffalo, but it's a water buffalo. Because I actually watched a bunch of documentaries of African lions pretty recently. I felt like I needed to watch them. I don't know why. Just beautiful camera work. But this was originally an elephant area. It was really small, but we decided to actually upgrade this habitat to allow ostriches, water buffalo, and elephants all live in one. It's just a huge, huge facility. And then over here, there's a little bit of hidden detail works with stuff. So I try to cover up the majority of the areas with bushes, sort of like we did with our Fred's Wonder World and Planet Coaster series. So you can check that out in one of our playlists. Where I just add a bunch of trees to add foliage in here, and there would obviously realistically be a fence behind this so no one could sneak in. But for this instance, we're not going to put a fence because there's not very much longer we're going to have left in this series. And then this beautiful elephant. Oh my goodness. This is such a good game. And I can't believe we spent 83 hours on this world. Every time I do something at Planet Zoo or Planet Coaster, I spend so much time. And I love it. This is the, oh my goodness, the lioness coming out. And by the way, if you did not know, the lioness does not have a mane. The males have the mane. I think I've talked about this a few times here in the series. But we try to make Pride Rock here for, like, you know, in The Lion King. Oh my goodness, he has his little toy. And they actually will sleep up there. It's really awesome. Just so much details in the zoo. It's coming back after, you know, 6 months. It's actually been more than that, like 6, 7, 8 months of just playing in this world and seeing all the little details. We dedicated this beautiful build to the Brady Badly Animates because his channel is a lion. And it's the farthest thing inside the park, but obviously lions are the king of the jungle. And, you know, people are going to come down here and visit this one. This is the one that you cannot miss. And it's far away from everyone else, so there's not a huge crowd. But, of course, you know, it's still going to be big. It's still going to be big. And then here's another side view of the other elephants. And I believe there's ostriches in here. I don't know where they are at. I'm about 100% sure we put ostriches in here. Yeah, there they are. Like, I can't see them. They're all the way over there. This is such a good... this would be such a good screenshot, too. I don't know if I'm going to use this or not. I'll take it anyways. Always good to take photos. And then right here, perfect timing. This is probably one of my favorite outdoor exhibits in the fact of terms of architecture builds here. Because this world was built from like zero experience to the experience that I have now, which you've seen throughout. But this is a little detail that I would like to incorporate more like on this over here. You see how kind of bland this is? This is really basic, which by the way, we dedicated this to Crips 200. Is these details here. I think these make the zoo so much nicer because there's like, it's not just a concrete barrier or a brick wall. It's actually just this stone that's actually a part of this rock. And then we made a little overhang here too. But the zebras just chilling, which we dedicated to the Zappy zebra. No one would have guessed, huh? But yeah, this one was definitely my favorite for the architecture wise, as well as some of the details we did to kind of cover that up. But, you know what? Let's go the other way because I actually want to talk about the other area right there last because I actually like that a little bit. a little bit. Here's another staff way to get around. And then this is the hippopotamus. So I think this was the second or third stream we did or video. And then this is one of the, this is the hippopotamus exhibit. And this is one of the greatest exhibits that I've done with an interior and an exterior, or it's not an exterior view. It's all interior view, but it has an exterior for the hippopotamuses. And it's underwater. I love how this turned out. I really did love how this turned out. I would like to add more of these in the future. I believe the hippopotamuses are sleeping right now because I don't see any in here. They have to be in here somewhere, of course. Here they are. They're sleeping over here. Well, that one guy's doing a little bit more than just sleeping, I guess. But I did like how they turned out. They came in here and just, like, swam around and walked over the place. It's very simplistic, but also very well done. And really the main attraction for today was doing these final little details on this waterfall. I knew I wanted to put something over here. I wanted to copy the water feature, but I didn't want to put trees and stuff like that. So I thought doing a waterfall here, using the water features, would look good. And the comment section down below will let me know if this looked good or not. But I love how this turned out. It's something that I have not done in Planet Zoo or Planet Coaster. But it's just a little waterfall. It gives a little bit of texture. You just gotta, sadly, I don't think they make sound, but you gotta shh. Just nice and calming. Just to hear that rush. Here's the most legit thing I've ever built was the Greater Flamingo exhibits. Apparently they're always stressed out, but it's just a cheap little exhibit you shove in one of the city zoos. And the Greater Flamingos just hang out here. People walk by them, but apparently a lot of people do like the Greater Flamingos, and maybe that's why they're always stressed out. Then we have the mandrill and the bonobos exhibit. I believe the mandrills was the first exhibit I built, and for some reason they kept not escaping, but if they went above this height line here, it said they escaped. I believe that was the issue, so we had to delete the original cage for that and just leave it as, just put a little couple things in there. But they do love it still. And then on the other side, we have the bonobos. And they love their little climbing habitat down here. This is what a lot of the Chicago zoos have, just concrete, just blocks in here. It's just simple, and easy to be done. And over here, we have the orangutan exhibit, which there's 2 orangutans in here. I know they only want 1 orangutan in one of these habitats. But I don't think any real zoo just keeps 1 orangutan in one area. So we actually have a few orangutans sort of walking around and, doing their beautiful walking. And then we have the Liam Harrison exhibit, one of the greatest contributors here on this series. He is the gorilla. I would say this would be equivalent to the king of the jungle, the silverback gorilla. He's hanging out back there, as well as there's a view from the top as well. But this is the final stuff that we done on today's video, which was these little just side areas. Now, these trees do hang over the walking path, but in some zoos, they kind of let that happen. It's sort of like you get a break from all the animals. You can sit out here, have a picnic with your family, maybe have a little bit more benches over here, but just nice and calming. Maybe put some koi fish in there or something. And then I believe this is probably the best area in this zoo in terms of detail-wise. I love how this Indian area turned out. There's only 2, well, the DLCs that I have 0 DLCs. But there's 2, there's the Indian rhino and the Indian elephants. And goodness me, this looks beautiful at nighttime. I mean, absolutely beautiful. I love how this turned out. And I honestly think this is the greatest thing that I built in this area. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of people down here. I'm not sure why. Maybe there's just not a lot of traffic for this. But the rhinos are down there doing their own thing. And this is their habitat. But I love how this turned out. It's like a street corner. It's supposed to be rapid with a lot of people over here sitting out eating. There's little details. This is something you would see at Disney. This is like my little Disney section here. Just the over-the-top details, lighting, everything. And then these little food vendors, I would actually say you could probably sell food from for this game. It's just aesthetic. And then over here, we actually have a only area where we have one-way glass where we can watch the elephants sleep. They're not in here sleeping right now, but they were. And then there's actually a little cage on the other side they could pull down at nighttime if you actually do want them to sleep without being disturbed. And there they are over there, the Indian elephants. But Fredlings, I hope you enjoyed this Planet Zoo series here on FredTopia Zoo. It has been an absolute wonder reading your comments, building the habitats you suggested, and everything helped so much in this entirety of the series. And for size comparison, the world borders, I believe, are like somewhere over here, and we only pretty much used, I'd say, like 15 to 20% of this map. I absolutely wonderful, and if you want to see more Planet Zoo or Planet Coaster series, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and comment down below which series you want to see next. Thank you so much for watching, Fredlings, and remember, a real Fredling makes their own luck.